not effective at fulfilling my own needs, nor particularly kind to the people around me. These coping skills got me through at the time, but didn't serve to support healthy relationships as I got older. So I needed to build new habits, instead of relying on old ways of being. I was raised by my mom because my dad was confined to a wheelchair with his speech unrecognizably slurred. Our home was ruled by violence and confusion. Faith would refer to this as an avoidant, fearful attachment style, if we are going to use clinical language. I witnessed my mother overtly lie to me about both benign and important things alike, while also keeping secrets that deeply affected me. I internalized the idea that you don't have to open up about even the most important things. As I grew up, I watched other kids form friendships and develop emotional bonds, while I noticed them increasingly avoid me. I eventually came to the realization that hiding intimate details of my life led people to distrust me. Coupled with my own maladaptive behavior as an autistic person, my brain's mirror neurons are incapable of detecting when someone is attempting to subtly or non-verbally communicate a boundary. People around me would perceive me as inflexible and disrespectful of their boundaries even after they had expressed them. I found myself alone. After the end of a number of long-term relationships that I thought were deep, I finally came to understand that people were communicating so much to me non-verbally, and they thought I was ignoring them. I spent years consciously working to learn the signs of other people's expressions and how to respond to them. By the time I found myself in my first healthy, loving relationship at 30 years old, I understood that I could share openly and trust someone for the first time in my life. I always knew that lying was wrong, but it didn't occur to me that withholding was a form of dishonesty as well. Autistic brains can be confused by gray areas. But when I learned what was needed of me and made the decision to change, I started recognizing my own toxic patterns. I saw how withholding affected my life. I apologized to dozens of people that I had, however inadvertently, hurt in my past. I made a conscious decision to share everything, even things that made me look foolish or might upset someone. I internalized the understanding that clear is kind. Suddenly, I was the person that I wanted and needed to be. Dr. Faith is a trauma therapist. In working with both victims and perpetrators, she has noticed similarities in their experiences. Many individuals who have offended recognize that they harmed themselves in the process of victimizing others. They have acted in ways that they have to live with for the rest of their lives, and in many cases have caused damage that can be healed but not repaired. It is the recognition of this harm that they need to work through. Additionally, Faith recognizes that most perpetrators were victims of harm far before they caused harm to others. Not always, of course, but often. This means deep accountability work needs to take all of the complexities of our experiences of trauma into account, though most pundits may say otherwise. So this book endeavors to address all of these complexities in a way that you don't often see in the public sphere, or even in accountability literature. As each of us began to write more and more about trauma, healing, and accountability, readers started reaching out requesting specific assistance on changing the behaviors they developed as a result of their traumatic histories. I received a lot of responses from autistic people seeking mentorship relationships. 4 years later, I've found coaching younger people to be a satisfying, albeit painful, way to revisit all of the mistakes I learned the hard way. We didn't intend to write this book, but as we began looking for resources that could help people seeking this information, we found hundreds of books depicting the horrific acts of others, and hundreds more detailing various ways that the author has been mistreated. But we found virtually nothing about how to end this cycle of abuse. People weren't asking us for first-person trauma porn narratives. They've already lived them. They were looking to change themselves. There were some survivorship-based